What's up, Math 8? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 8.4, volume of cylinders. We're going to be able to find the volume of cylinders using the formula given to us. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the reasons why we talked about finding the area in the beginning of chapter 8 is because a cylinder is a 3D shape with circles at each end. And in order to find the volume of that, we're going to be taking the area of the base, which is your circle, and multiplying it by the height. Okay, so our cylinder volume, let's go ahead and copy this in our notes, is pi times radius squared times the height. Notice we do not need diameter, so for a given diameter, we'll just divide by 2. Next, let's go ahead and find these. So again, I'm going to write down this volume formula as pi times radius squared times the height, or that's just the area of the base times the height. So I'd start with 3.14 times 7 squared times 6. So 6 is the height because it's connecting one circle to the next, okay? 7 squared is 49, so you could even do it as 3.14 times 49 and then times 6. We're going to round our answer to the nearest hundredth once we're done. So 3.14 times 49, 3.14 times 49 times 6. We're getting 923.16, and that'll be inches cubed. Okay, this next one has radius. Why don't you pause the video here and try number 2 on your own, and when you're ready to check it, click play. All right, our volume is pi times radius squared times the height. So pi is 3.14, radius is 1, and then height is 3. So that's 3.14 times 1 times 3. We're going to get volume is 9.42 yards cubed. How'd you do? The next two, we are given the diameter, so just be careful with these. Make sure you're not using 8 or 20 for your radius and number 5 and 6. Let's go ahead and try number 5 together. So volume is pi times radius squared, that's area of your base, times the height. So we're going to do 3.14 times the radius. I'm just going to divide that diameter by 2, so my radius is 4, so that'll be 4 squared times the height, which is 12, or 3.14 times 16 times 12. So let's type that in our calculator. 3.14 times 16 times 12. I'm getting 602.88 meters cubed. Okay. Why don't you pause and try number 6 on your own, and when you're ready to check, click play. So again, our volume formula is pi times radius squared times the height. This 20 represents diameter, so what I need is the radius, which is exactly half, and that'll be 10. So I'm going to take 3.14 times 10 squared times the height, which is 5, or 3.14 times 100 times 5. Here we go. 3.14 times 100 times 5 is 1,570 yards cubed. How'd you do? The next piece we're going to do is use some formulas here, but we're going to have to find volume twice, okay? How much salsa is missing from the jar, meaning how much is the difference from where it is at to where it was? Where it was, we have that full jar of 10 as the height and 5 as the radius. So let's go ahead and find the full jar. That would be pi, so 3.14 times 5 squared times the height of 10, or 3.14 times 25 times 10. So typing that in our calculator, 3.14 times 25 times 10, I'm getting 785 cubic centimeters. Okay, but now we want to figure out what's left over. The leftover height is 4, so we're still going to start off the same way, 3.14 times 5 squared, because that's still your radius, but now my height is 4. Or we'll type in 3.14 times 25 times 4. 3.14 times 25 times 4 is 314 cubic centimeters. So So all we need to do here now is subtract these two to find the leftover amount. So 785 minus 314 gives us 471 cubic centimeters that we used. This last one, we can also use the volume formula. It says, about how many gallons of water does the water cooler bottle contain? A cubic foot is about 7.5 gallons. So we're still going to have to find the volume. So volume is pi times radius squared times the height, but then we're going to multiply that answer by 7.5. So pi is 3.14. My radius is 0.5 because if you noticed, my diameter is 1, so half of that is 0.5. And then my height is 1.7. Okay? So my 0.5 squared is 0.25, so we're going to do 3.14, times 0.25 times 1.7 and see what we come up with. This will give me my volume first, and I'm getting about 1.3345. I'm going to double check my calculations just to be sure. 3.14 times 0.25 times 1.7. Good. Now, this is my cubic feet. So to find out the gallons, I'm just going to multiply by 7.5 gallons to figure out the total amount of gallons. So times by 7.5, that's around, I'm going to get a long decimal, 10.00875. So we can round that to even just say about 10 gallons. Okay? That'll conclude our video on volume of cylinders. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it is, give it a thumbs up and tune back in next time when we start finding the volume of cones, which is actually very similar to cylinders, except one extra step. Have a great day.